Bright Banner is a SharePoint app for adding banner style slides to SharePoint pages. You can install Bright Banner by clicking the settings cogwheel, typically in the upper right hand corner of your SharePoint site. And from the settings menu, you would choose the Add an App option. From the Add an App page, you can select the SharePoint store. In the SharePoint store page, you can search for the app by typing Bright Banner in the search box. Once you find the Bright Banner app in the SharePoint store, you can click the link to the app. You can read more information about the app, and to add it, you simply click the Add It link, and that would install it onto your site. Now, I've already added the app to my site, so I'm just going to navigate back to my site. And to get started using Bright Banner, once the app has been added, you should see you have a link to it in your quick launch, either that or you can click the site contents. And from the site contents, I have a link to Bright Banner. This will take me to the app site. Once I'm in the app site, I have a Get It Starting link that I can click. This will give me directions, text directions about how to use it. But to get started using it through the video, what I'm going to do is go ahead and go to the Bright Banner Images link. When I select this link takes me to a library that I can use to upload images. I've already got some images pre-uploaded, but I could simply drag the images onto this page, or I could click the upload, and you would see that I get a browse dialog that I can go and search for the images that I want to upload. Once I've got my images uploaded, we'll cancel, go back to this page, then I can create the banner slides list. When I click the banner slides list, this takes me to a SharePoint list where I would add an entry for each image that I want to display. As you can see, I've already got list items added for each one of my images. There's a new item link that I could click and enter new items. We could add the URL that would take us to an address that when the user clicks on the actual image, when they're viewing the slideshow, that would take them to that URL. We could include a description, some notes, and then we would include the image URL. And we could also include a description with that. And you can see that there's a active checkbox that we can click to either activate or deactivate any of the images that go along with our slideshow. It's these links. Let me cancel this. It's these list items, the links that go with this list item, that are going to show up in my banner slideshow. Again, the active would determine whether or not they are actually displayed or not. So I've already got everything pre-set up. I'm going to go back to my site, and then to actually use and create the banner slideshow, I need to add a page to my site. So again, I'll use the settings cogwheel in the upper right hand corner, and from the settings cogwheel I'll choose the Add a Page option, and we'll call this page Bright Banner Demo. Click Create, and there's two ways that I can add the Bright Banner or get the Bright Banner slideshow onto my page. One method is to insert an app part, and there would be a Bright Banner app part that we could insert onto my page, which I see in my parts list. So I'll click the Add option. You can already see it's linked into my images, but the height is not quite right, so I would need to edit this. I could click the little arrow and then select Edit Web Part. From the Edit Web Part section, I can scroll down. Actually, what I need to do is change the height, which is up here at the top. We'll change the height to a set height of 550 pixels. We'll click Apply. I should see now that I can see the entire image, including the navigation controls that come with Bright Banner. As I hover over the image, this shows up where I've got a next and a previous, and I can also click a little dot that I can use to select or navigate through the different images. If I scroll down, I've also got an effects area that I can expand, and this allows me to adjust things like the animation speed. I can set the different effects for the animation. We've got different options. I can set how often it pauses in between each slide, and I can also set color values. That's one way. It doesn't give me quite that much flexibility, or I should say there's another way that I can add the banners to the page that gives me more flexibility than adding it through the app part. So I'm going to cancel, and to show you the second method, I'm going to delete my web part. And what I need is a snippet of code which I can get from the Bright Banner site. So I'm going to right click the Bright Banner site, open it up in a new tab, and then here on the site, on the Bright Banner application site, I've got a link to preview and embed, which I'll select. This takes me to a page where I've got some code. I can see it's just an HTML iframe code, and I can select this code, and I'll show you how in a second to embed it into the page. But also notice that I have more options here. I can set the width, I can set the height. In fact, I want to go ahead and change the width the height from 100% to 550 pixels. You can adjust the pause time, animation speed, the color, also the theme style. So this, I don't have the same options with the app part, but this I can change. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see the default, which is just a bar at the bottom. It's got little arrows that I can navigate on the left and right hand side. The user can navigate from slide to slide. And then if we change the theme to, say, bar, scroll back down a little bit, we see we get a little bit different look, where it's got a previous and a next instead of the arrows. If I select thumbnail, set the theme style back to default, and scroll down, I don't have quite enough height for it, but you can see that I've got a thumbnail that users can click to navigate through the different images instead of just the dots. But because of the number of images and the size of the thumbnails, that might not work for the type of images you're using or the size of page you're using. In my case, I'll turn it off and go back to the default dots. But it does just give me more options, more flexibility. But to get it onto the page, I simply select the code, we'll right click, copy this code into my clipboard, go back to the page, and to get it into the page, I'll use the Insert tab toolbar, or Insert tab, and on the toolbar from this tab I've got a option to embed code. I'll click that. This opens up a dialog. I'll paste my code, that and paste the iframe into it. I'll even see a little bit of a preview of it. Go ahead and click the insert to insert it into the page. I'll click the save option in the upper right hand corner of my page. Once my page refreshes, I can see that there is my banner, my slideshow. Again, I've still got the default options. I can click the arrows, or I can just let it automatically navigate using the built-in animation and the built-in time setting that it's set to. Or I can click the little dots at the bottom and manually navigate. And then each one is linked, or can be linked, to individual pages. So in this case, this is linked to the photographer's website. Navigate back. So Bright Banner is a SharePoint app that lets me create very nice looking animated slideshows. Very easy to install, very easy to add images, and got a couple different ways that I can add it to my SharePoint web pages. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it.